Hello, this is Budgets with Grace, where I give you a glimpse of my life using the lens of my budget. My name's Grace. Today is Transfer Tuesday, the day that I make progress towards all my financial goals. I am of the mind that you can be working towards many financial goals at one time. It's just about your priorities. If you're new around here and you don't recognize the software you're seeing, it's called YNAB or You Need a Budget. You can try it with a link in my description below. It's some of the best budgeting software out there. There are also a few features on my account that are from YNAB Toolkit, which is a free Chrome and Firefox extension. There's also a link for that in my description below. And with that, let's get into my budget. You can see my category group is hashtag goals. That's what I'm going to be working out of today. Before we get into hashtag goals, I want to mention my credit card, which I would typically be paying off every week in this Transfer Tuesday process, but I had a big refund because of an issue with some blinds that I purchased, which, like, if you've ever bought blinds for your home, you know how expensive those can be. So I'd already paid off the credit card before the refund came in. So now I just basically have a credit of over $500 that I've been working through. So that's why you haven't been seeing me make credit card payments. My first priority goal is to max out my Roth IRA by the end of 2020. Technically, you have the first quarter of 2021, or basically until April 15th when taxes are due, to max that out, but it's just a personal goal for me to do it by the end of the year. And the way I see it, if I can do that by the end of the year, I can have a really good start to 2021 to max it out again. And instead of contributing, my goal is $335 a week, I will be able to contribute just about 100, maybe 125 a week. So that's the backstory. I'm going to go into my checking account and add a transaction. I have the accounts I'm transferring to, all of them as a tracking account. So I'm going to select the Roth IRA and the outflow from my checking, which would be inflow in the Roth. Save that. Where'd it go? It's not organized. And I'll label it green. So if I go into that linked account for my Roth IRA, you can see that contribution has come in and it's updated the balance. Tracking accounts affect your net worth and you're able to use them as a payee, but they are not part of your budget accounts, which the budget amount is what is the money that I use in the spreadsheet, basically. Moving on, my mutual fund goal is to contribute $100 to my Vanguard mutual fund. And this is another example of how starting doing something is a habit, and ultimately a mutual fund is diversifying my portfolio. And this is important for me to do while I'm on my debt journey. I could be throwing this extra money towards my debt, but the debt that I have is at a really low interest rate. And so basically, if the market continues to go as it always has, an average of about 7% return, I'm making a higher return on this investment than I would be on paying off my student loans. So I'll go back into my checking, add the transaction for today, and it will go to the mutual fund, and outflow is 100. And that's all. If we go down here, you can see I just opened this account. I was previously contributing to this other account. You can see in the sidebar, Wealthfront investment account. I switched to Vanguard mostly because I was concerned about fees. Now, back to my next and final goal that I'm not going to be transferring anything to. This is my student loans goal, and I am going to be treating this as a holding account until January when the student loans kick back in. At least that's the plan for now. A lot can happen between now and then. So I'm going to be showing you how I use goals in YNAB to manipulate this and see how it goes. I just know I'm not going to be able to reach this huge goal, and it's a really intense goal to pay it off by the end of the year. I probably made this goal when I was just playing around and I wasn't really sure what my priorities were, if I would stop contributing to investing in order to pay this off. So I'll show you, I made it a target savings balance, which I think is right, and I am going to be doing it by date. If I didn't do it by date, it would just be this lump sum, and this progress bar shows just basically 100% of the money that you need. So I'm going to do this by date instead, and let's say May 2021. Now you can see this is a lot easier for me to reach. Like, I've already exceeded that, so I could even budget less and still be on track to meet that goal, and then put these dollars to use somewhere else, which part of me just wants to click right here and send it to my couch. That would be awesome to get a couch. But I think it's a higher priority to me to put this towards those student loans. And I wonder if I could play with this even a little bit more and get it closer to this amount I've already budgeted. So let's just go up 1 month to April and see what that does. Okay, so this is probably as close as we'll get, and I'm pretty much right on track for that. If I take 420 if I just make it an even 420, if I contribute $420 a month every month into the student loans, or into this one student loan I have, then it'll be paid off by April. So one thing that I love about YNAB is that I can have these multiple goals and see how I can reach them at different rates, but still making progress towards all of them. What am I going to do with this extra $9? Let me see. So I have talked about my desire to paint a mustard accent wall before, and I went to the hardware store and they had the Magnolia paint from Joanna Gaines on display. The paint guy was standing right there, and I asked him if this was like insanely marked up because it's Magnolia, and he said no, it's really high quality actually, so it's a really good price for the quality. I saw a color of Joanna Gaines paint and I want it. On the other hand, I spent a lot out of personal on nail polish. Oh, and I haven't even reached my beauty goal yet. I'm a little bit off. I'll put it in Misk. Misk could use a little love. That's much more responsible than budgeting for another home project that, one, I don't need to pay for, and two, I don't need to freaking start. I have so many projects, and I feel like this is a DIYer's like life. It's just like you get inspired to start things, but then you have like a trail of half projects completed behind you, and you have to turn around and eat your tail like a snake to catch back up. I really like analogies. If you stick around, I'm going to make some crazy analogies for sure. So that was really fun to make so much progress towards my investment goals. So I'm going to retire and start taking withdrawals at the age of 59 from my Roth IRA. I think do I want to tell the story? I'll tell you the story. My mom is considering moving to a lower cost of living area in order to retire because I know that she wasn't diligent about saving for retirement when she was my age. When she was my age, she had 2 kids, and that's not where I'm at right now. I am almost a DINK, like we're living together and working towards goals together. So a lot of my expenses are shared and I don't have kids. When I got the news that she was going to be potentially moving to across the country, immediately I told my boyfriend, like, you need to open a retirement account and we need to work towards this together. So that's a lot of my motivation for the Roth IRA. Kind of same with the mutual fund, in that I know that maybe it will benefit me. Like maybe I'll save it for a bridge account, but also maybe it could be a down payment or part of my wedding or something along those lines. Thank you so much for following along. If you want to stick around, you can like, comment, subscribe, all the things, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!